And we are live. Mr. Gracey, what's going on? Show 90.
Hey. It's another day. In gracious too.
Yeah. And
please like, subscribe, and comment.
And share. Yes.
And share.
Share it up, people. Before we get into the show.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about a former friend of yours, bandmate, Mr. Ed Kowalczyk. I know you don't check out his shit, but I seem to find it every now and again.
Oh yeah, I don't look at anything he does, but okay.
This dude is so out of touch with your fans and his fans and live fans. It's absurd, dude.
Well, what do you do now?
He sends out a picture. I guess they were playing Philly last night or some shit. And he sends a picture of him like in front of the stage, Philly tonight, with fucking the shitty drummer he has in the background, and says, "This is at Johnny blah, 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 blah." Like literally advertising that he has a shitty drummer trying to fill your shoes when his fans and your fans have been complaining about this for so long. He's like so out of touch. He's taking pictures and promoting it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's trying to take a dig at me. One, I don't care. Two, it's hilarious. Three, I'm sure Johnny's a great guy and probably a good drummer. And by the way, Johnny, hey, if you want to see how I play this part, you can go to my YouTube channel and check them out. Most of the songs are up there.
Good luck.
But yeah, it's. I mean, come on, Eddie's. He's a funny guy, and he thinks that kind of shit rattles me. I don't care. Like, I don't care. My ego, my whole life is not tied up in being the drummer of Live. Like, his ego's tied up in being the lead singer of Live. Like, that's his whole persona. Like,
yeah.
And there's not much else to him.
But how out of touch? Like, if that's your whole thing, right? Wouldn't you want to make your fans happy? Like, they're not happy that you're not in the band, right? So don't rub their face in it, dude. Like,
well, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care. All he cares about is being on the stage and being Ed and Live. All the other stuff that surrounds that, all the little details about the music and the stuff that Patrick, Chad, and I took care of.
Yep.
He didn't pay attention to, and he doesn't care about, because he can just get up there and sing his lyrics and and be Ed of Live.
And he'll never know how to recreate that. And I'm like, the thing is, like, you can move forward in a way and keep your fans, but you cannot be shoving their face in it by trying to get to you. Like, that picture 100% was so you saw it and would be like, oh, he's promoting, my position.
Oh my God, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Well, it's also funny because, Eddie's taken a bunch of L's in court, and he just took one on Tuesday. So that's interesting for him. It's a major thing happened on Tuesday that's gonna rock his world when someone finally tells him. I'm sure his crappy manager didn't tell him about what happened in court on Tuesday, but he will find out, and he's not going to be happy about it. It's going to be very interesting for him to move forward.
How would you feel with that, Chad, if your management kept something from you that was like pressing like that? Like, that's a serious...
Well, I mean, most people that know me know that I can handle it. Like, I don't... You telling me something that is bad before I'm doing shows wouldn't affect my mental state to do a show.
Right.
Whereas Eddie he's fragile. So we can't mess with his artist sensibilities before he goes on stage.
Well, he's going to be real fragile once he realizes, like, you're only going to get away with touring with subpar musicians so many times because, you will get your fans that loved you guys from the 90s and 2000s to come. But once they realize this music isn't what it was and you guys aren't in there, they're not going to be coming back again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, well, I mean, he's still booking big tours, which is great. You know? Send me my check.
Let's go. Let's go. But just do us all a favor, Ed. Get a fucking real musician back there. Is it that you don't want to pay them properly? Like, you got a great one in Zach Lloyd. Please don't take advantage of him and fuck him over because he's a great person, like your other three original bandmates.
I mean, when it comes time to do that, he will fuck over Zach. Just like, I mean, it's like it's like when somebody cheats on you and the person that they're cheating with, they end up being with them, and that person that they're with now thinks that they're never going to cheat on them.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing. Like, Zach is a great guy. I like Zach. He's a freaking awesome musician and a great guy. But when Ed, if he needs to, he will discard him just like he discarded all of us. because that's
And
what he does.
and you know what's crazy about that, Chad? That's the one musician in the band that I think is on par with, the original guitarist. I don't know as far as writing goes, just as far as like sound and being able to step into the shoes to fill the role. I don't know where his writing skills lie, but that's something that, you're not like, oh, is that the original guitar? It kind of sounds like it is. The bass and the drums, they're not there, dude. So it's like you have the rhythm section of your band, which is a huge part of the music, is lacking. And I don't know how he's cool with that. Maybe it's a monetary thing. He doesn't want to pay people. Don't know.
I'm telling you, he's cool with it because he doesn't pay attention to it. He doesn't care.
He's not paying to teach out. Yeah.
Lorianne Romachek, sorry, is asking what happened Tuesday. There's supposed to be a hearing on Tuesday in my lawsuit with Ed, and his lawyer abruptly pulled out on Monday because they were going to take a big L, and which that then pulling out of that hearing is a big L because they were trying to move. They're basically trying to move the venue, and it was going to fail anyway. And now it totally failed. So he has big problems in California now too.
Yeah, so his lawyer's dumb. He's making dumb moves, all for the sake of I don't know, fucking himself really in the long run.
Right. Well, and now Bill's texting me, Mr. Bill Hines. He's like, let's be honest. He's not Chad Taylor. Zach Loy is not Chad Taylor.
I said I don't know what he writes. I'm saying as far as playing.
Well, even right and playing wise. I mean, I've never listened to it, but I've talked to people that have, and they're saying that Zach is, for instance, not playing Lakini's Juice correctly.
Well, didn't you play with Zach though?
Yeah.
Oh no, but Chad was in the band too.
Oh yeah, well, exactly, yes.
You guys had 9 people in the band at one point. What the fuck was going on with the 4 guys from New York, man? I mean, you didn't have 9, but you had.
That's mostly Ed just trying to fill out and do something stupid because he's too afraid to rock by himself.
Yeah, man. But Jesus,
or the 4 of us, I should say.
2 drummers, 2 guitarists, possibly 3 with Ed. A fucking he was probably going to get another bassist soon.
Exactly. He's going to double everybody except himself.
Except himself, yeah.
Right.
And then here's what I want to ask you about this, because how is Ed's relationship with his brother? Because when I had Adam on my original podcast, I made the statement of saying, like, you and your brother harmonizing together, it really doesn't get much better than that. Like, Adam was able to like do some of the parts that Ed did on the albums, almost like Ed did them on the albums, backing him up. And I say to Adam, like, like, why aren't you with them? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, tell my brother I said hi. I'd love to go on the road with him. Like, and when he said it, I kind of caught me off guard, but it made it seem like they barely talk.
I don't know for sure what goes on there. I know what I witnessed personally, and I think Adam's a great guy, and I've never had a problem with Adam. But I know that, for instance, Adam opened for us a couple of times, like on the road. And Ed
like Adam in the Weight?
Yeah. Wow. Well, no, just Adam acoustically. You go up and play, and Ed would never watch him. Ed wouldn't even go on stage to watch him.
Wow.
So that's what I know personally.
Yeah.
So other than that, I don't know what their relationship is. I cannot comment.
Yeah. I mean, and you're definitely taking the high road here. I'm just not, because like I said, it caught me off guard. And, just to say, because I'm like, why are you not doing it? He's like, I'd like to be. Tell him I said hi. And I was like, wow, that's fucking wacky tobacco. And then now with this live cover band, they got this other dude who's on pianos and does backing vocals, and the backing vocals are pretty good. But I see Adam's putting out music and stuff, so it's not like he's not in the music game. Like, he could technically be touring with them. So it seems like Ed's got a problem with some of his best friends from childhood, his brother. Like, who's the problem? Ed? I wonder. I really do wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Bill wanted me to say that he's not really liking CT, so, but he will give him praise. And Bill and I don't talk very often, but here and there. So,
gotcha. Well, Billy boy, I love you, dude. I'm getting you on this show coming up soon, so you can come on here and catch up with Chad and myself. We miss you, dude. Sort of.
He does it. We'll see if he does it. I don't know. He does.
Well, he likes me.
Bill's Bill.
I don't know if he likes you, but he likes me, so he better come on for me. But yeah, did somebody say go fuck Ed? How dare you? That's horrible.
Not me.
Yeah, no. Bobby, we miss you if you're out there.
Oh my God. Yeah, where's Bobby?
Who the hell knows, dude? Don't forget our OnlyFans, the gracious 2 inches. That's gonna be funny, Chad, when somebody creates that OnlyFans.
We should create it.
We really should.
The gracious 2 inches. Just put pictures of 2-inch dicks on there.
Yeah, and our feet we could do. Dude, this is crazy. This is kind of a crazy subject, but I think it should be spoken about. I think you should, again, with kids, because this is what my mother did to me as a kid. Like, she read this book to me as I was very young. I remember it to this day. It was like something about strangers and like not to talk to them, and like she just kind of really like put thoughts in my head, like know your surroundings, blah 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 blah. But she also would tell me, like, if anybody wants to touch your no spots or ask to see it, like, let me know. Even if they say I'll be mad, like, I would never be mad at you. You let me know. I think those conversations are so important to have with a kid, because when I had these thoughts of growing up, I'm like, if anybody touches me, I'm going to fucking scream, yell, and I'm going right to my parents. There was no talking me out of it. Like, oh, your mother will hate you if you do it. And that's what a lot of these predators do, dude, is
of course they manipulate the children. Yeah. Yep. Don't tell your parents, or they're going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with especially my girls. I mean, and God forbid if that happens, we're gonna have fucking problems.
Did you hear?
Have problems.
Right. And as you should be justified to do anything in that scenario, temporary insanity for sure.
Well, along those lines, I was just listening to Joe Rogan with Jordan Peterson on, and they were kind of talking about what we've talked about, suicidal empathy.
Yeah.
And applying that to the trans issue and how these people are going in the spaces. And as I said before, I don't have problems with trans people, but what the left has done has their suicidal empathy has caused them to deny the pervy men that can now just say they're women and go into women's spaces and children's spaces and locker rooms where kids are.
Right.
It denies that those people exist. And we know that they exist.
Yeah.
Pervy, disgusting, mentally ill men exist and now can just go, I'm a woman, and go in a fucking woman's locker room. It makes zero sense. It just makes no sense. And so the way to stop that is you got to stop them all from going in a woman's locker room. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, because that's just how biology is. There was just a case happened out in Kansas City at YMCA. A woman walks into a locker room with her child after a swimming lessons. There's a bunch of kids in there. They walk out of a stall, and there stands a man naked with his dick hanging out in front of all the kids.
Whoa.
And the woman's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm a woman. There you go.
So wait, Chad, so is it that this is actually a law they could do this, or it's just nobody's enforcing that they can't do it?
I don't think anybody is enforcing that they can at this particular YMCA.
That's crazy, dude. Like, they're going to have a fucking person who has common sense, like, literally take the law into their own hands. Like, that's what they're forcing with shit like this.
Oh, like, I mean, if that was my kid walking in there.
Yeah.
Some dude's parading around with his dick out in front of my kid. We're gonna have a problem.
Big problem. Big fucking problem. Dude, did you hear that story of Cain Velasquez, the UFC fighter?
No.
Dude, this is crazy, bro. He finds a guy who molests his, like, little boy. I don't know, 7 to 10, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So Cain finds out and freaks the fuck out and goes to kill this dude with a gun, literally chasing him in his car, shooting after him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He gets, they stop him whenever he gets pulled over, but this dude's doing, I think, 5 or 7 years in jail for this when he was he was in a temporary fucking blinded rage because somebody molested his little boy, and he lost it and went nuts and tried to kill the guy who harmed his son. And he's found guilty of, like, if there's ever a time for temporary insanity, that's it.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
How do you, and I believe the dude who did it, I don't know if he's in jail, but he didn't shoot him. He didn't kill him or anything. It's just crazy. He was shooting at him.
Yeah, you can only surmise that was probably some leftist friggin' judge. They defend the pedophiles, and they go after the good guys are the bad guys are the good guys every friggin' time. It's insane.
It just goes to show, like, anybody who makes a decision to put that dude in jail should be looked into. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just something's wacky with that.
It is.
What up, Jason? We see you. We'll bring you on in a couple minutes, my man.
It's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame.
I friggin' hate pedophiles.
Yeah, they should all be lined up. Like, they say it's a vicious cycle, right? So it happens to somebody, and then they grow up to do it. It's like you got to rid the world of them.
Oh, it certainly is. Yes, that is definitely true. It's a vicious cycle.
But you know what I don't get, Chad?
Really sad because it happens to them, and then they perpetrate it on other people, and it's crazy.
But that was my question, though. Like, how can something so awful happen to you, and you know how it makes you feel, and then you go and do it to someone else? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
I forget
compute.
the psychology of that and how they twist it into doing it to other people. I've read about it, but I've forgotten about it.
It's absurd. Anyway, let's get on to something cool here. But I did want to put that out there. Parents, have the conversations with your kid early and young. Let them know that, no matter what, you're there for them. You got their back against scumbags, all that shit. It's good to have those conversations so they feel comfortable in coming to you folks with everything.
Exactly. I just want to say one more thing. Hi, Brendan and Chris, if you're watching.
Let Ed know. Oh, Mr.
Hey!
That's the wrong camera.
What up, Jason? Live show, folks. That's how
we're
we
gonna look at his Peloton bike here. There he is.
Boom. Shaka.
What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure.
To speaking with you and seeing you. I haven't seen you since 2019?
Yeah, it's been a minute, eh?
That's amazing.
Hey, is that Canadian?
Come on, man. Of course it is.
Oh, it totally is, eh?
I knew it. I would do my Canadian accent, but it turns into an Australian, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Every time.
Hey, man,
every time.
It works.
Every
time,
man.
Jason,
I didn't realize that I was such a fan of yours until we got you booked on this show. I'm a big Evans Blue fan. I know you came into that band a little later, dude, but what a fucking awesome band.
Cool, man. Yeah. I did a couple of records with them. I think it was like back in 2012 I started working with them.
Yeah, dude.
And they're wicked, like super heavy records. And we actually recorded on a bunch of Motown's gear out in Lansing, Michigan for that first record. And it was like this like weird amalgamation of like old school and new school. It was really, really freaking cool.
It really was. You guys benefited from all that hard music, and then you had the lead singer wasn't like that yelly kind of scary singer,
just a little scary, not
a little
full blown.
Right. Yeah. And now you're in Our Lady Peace, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been in OLP for I think this is my 11th year now.
Oh, very cool.
So time
Chad,
flies.
Did you know it's OLP for short?
I heard that somewhere. Yeah,
I'm learning.
Yeah, in Canada, we're known as OLP.
Hey, makes sense. Let's get into Canada real quick. We won't stay here, but are you happy with what's going on in Canada? I heard they're turning into communists over there. Is that true?
I stay in my basement and I stay away from all political things.
Yes.
Perfect.
Smart, dude.
Probably
Smart.
the best thing to do. Just sit there and tune it all out.
Dude, there's no winning sometimes. So it's just like, I'm in my own little world. I'm in a bubble.
Yep.
So
Jason,
your mental health is much better for that. Really. Ignorance is bliss a lot of times, especially nowadays.
Absolutely.
So so 2019 you toured with us, and now you're going back out with Collective Soul and live. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but that's a whole different story. But
I'll miss you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll miss you too, man. I enjoy watching you play almost every night. I got to watch you. I loved your drumming. And
thank you, brother.
It was cool to just. All the drummers on that tour were great. Nick was awesome. Nick Hughes.
Yeah,
was great with Bush.
Absolutely.
And it was a fun tour. I had a good time.
Oh yeah, man! You gave me anxiety most nights because I think it was during Starseed. I'd see you going with your hi-hat hand as I was playing the pattern, and I'm like, "Don't mess it up, Jason! Don't mess it up."
Yes. There was one fill that you were doing I really liked in Starseed. Yeah, it was cool.
Right on.
And yeah, I mean, I became more of a fan of the band too. I knew about OLP and knew some of the songs, but it was great to watch more of it and see more of it. And
sweet band.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the band is just great musicians, and Rain's singing is amazing. His voice is, it's crazy. To me, it's wild to see that voice come out of him. He doesn't look like that voice.
Yeah.
To me.
And it's such a unique voice too.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
How long have you been playing drums, and what made you get into them?
I started when I was 4, actually, and I just turned 40, so that's like 36 years now,
Damn.
which is a hell of a long time. But I actually started because my dad and mom owned a production company, and my dad sold or bartered a split snake for a Stewart's Blue Sparkle drum kit. If you remember that, like made in Japan kind of brand from back in the day.
Okay.
And yeah, I grew up like sitting behind a bunch of drummers that I really respected and just kind of learned from them. And I've just, it's something that was an instant connection for me. Drums.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely. It was something that's just kind of like been in me my entire life. And I owe a lot to it, but like at the same point, it's a lifelong like obsession almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I didn't get a set until I was 12. That's the first time I started playing, but I was always into the drums, always banging on the back of my parents' seats when we were driving around. And we had a friend who had a drum set and didn't play it much, but I would go down there in his basement, just look at it, maybe sometimes sit at it until, like I said, I turned 12, and a friend of mine, or actually a neighbor, sorry, had a drum set for sale at a yard sale. It's like $150. It's a Ruther, which is probably another one of those. I don't even know I think they were made in America, but anyway, so I was like, Mom, I want to buy a drum set. And she's like, well, okay. And I was like, well, let me use some of my savings bonds to buy a drum set. That was the best investment I've made in my life so far.
Wow.
Absolutely. Drums, always drums.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chad, you probably didn't let them fully vest either. So while you technically at that point made a horrible business decision, in the long scheme of things, it turned out to be amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
They were thinking ahead.
I was thinking, I was kind of thinking ahead, but yeah, it was a great return on investment for sure. Did you just become, did you just go to DW? Were you a different drum company before? Because I thought I saw you post something about DW.
I was with Gretsch when I was, when we were touring together.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I originally signed with DW back in, I think it was 2011 or 2012, and I was with them for a bunch of years. But it just didn't make sense for me with like shipping and all that type of stuff at that point to stick with DW, and I ended up leaving and going to Gretsch. But I regretted it so much. Like I still played their hardware, and like I'm such a huge fan of their drums that like it came up on a conversation with Garrison, and it just kind of happened. I'm like, I have to come back home.
Good old Garrison. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just like their drums just do so much and so many different things. They're not like a one-trick pony,
Yeah, and you just got a new set of acrylics, right?
I did. I got a Coke bottle, Coke bottle green acrylic kit from them. I got a USA or a what do you call it? A collector's series. Right before this tour, and it was ultraviolet purple with satin hardware, and they're just like ridiculous drums, man. Like,
dude, purple drums are badass.
I was with Pearl my whole career until 2018.
Oh, cool.
No, actually 19, because we came back together. We got back together in 16. We played 17, 18, and I went to Pearl, and I wanted to get an acrylic set from Pearl, right?
Yeah.
So I called up the new Pearl rep who I'd never met, some young kid, and I was like, "Hey man, can I get a set?" And he's like, "Yeah, we can do that, no problem." And he's like, "It's gonna be, this amount of money." I'm like, "Well, I haven't gotten a new set from Pearl since like 2002. I got to pay for it now." Like, I and it sounds shitty to say that to the layman person, like, "Oh, I got to pay for the drums," but like,
no, don't.
I've been an endorsee forever and ever, and I hadn't gotten a new set forever and ever, and I was like, "Oh, I was like, wow, I guess some things have changed at Pearl. They don't want to give me sets anymore." So I was like, "Hey, DW, what's going on?" And Garrison welcomed me right in, sent me a set of I don't know, I forget what the lower down series is to get me going. There's a black
like design or performance.
Yeah, design or performance. And then I ordered a custom kit, the red sparkles.
Oh, with the black hardware.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that kit's beautiful.
The black kit was great too. The performance was awesome. It sounded great too. But I've been using DW snare stands for probably 15 years because I didn't like the Pearl snare stands.
They make a difference in the stand?
Yeah.
The stand, is it like a sound difference or a feel difference?
No, just the way it sets up and the way fit into my
It's like
kit.
the engineering with DW. It's like
Yeah.
everything is thought out like so meticulously that like you go to like adjust something and it just wants to go there for you.
Oh, it's
Like, oh,
amazing. Yeah.
okay.
Did you ever do a factory tour?
No, man, I
Oh,
wish.
as soon as I signed up, because I'm in Orange County, so I could drive right up to the Camarillo where their
Lucky.
factory is. Yeah, and Garrison showed me around. I mean, you talk about meticulous engineering. Even the shells are like that, with the
Yeah.
the way they cross grain everything, and there's certain woods on the outside and the inside. It's like wow. It was a cool thing to see. In the
Oh,
factory.
that's all like I thought it was like kind of like that's like wood grain stuff that's going on when you see it like fading in from different colors.
No, so the way they do the shells is they'll put a harder wood on the outside of the drum, and like a softer wood like an ebony on the inside, which gives you more deeper tones, like for toms and kick drums. But in between, there's usually like 7 or 9 layers of a drum. In between, they will cross the grains. So instead of running the grains all the same way, they'll crisscross the grains on different layers. Just gives a different resonance. I mean, what's the guy's the wood whisperer John is?
John. Yeah.
John Good, I think. Is it John
Good? Totally.
Yeah, he is. Have you ever watched any of his documentaries about finding wood stuff? Like, the guy is like a wood fanatic. It's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I
they
guess
put
you
a
got
lot
to
of
be
thought into it.
Who the hell knew all the science involved?
Yeah, no, that's what's the great thing about that company is they care about everything. It's not just like wrapping a couple of layers of maple and then sending out a drum. It's like, oh, we're crisscrossing grains and picking different woods for different parts of the drum, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Jason, so when does this new Our Lady Peace tour start, and where's it kick off?
I actually don't even know where the first show is. To be
honest.
Love it. It's
What
in
a
the
rock star.
States.
Here, I'll look on bands in town, because that's where I was told to look where my former band plays. So.
Oh my god. I know we have a bunch of like festival stuff leading up to it, and then we hop into the States, and it's pretty much like 2 months straight, which is going to be pretty challenging. Just with a young family and everything, it's
Oh yeah. That's the one thing, as I was, when I had my family, about coming to get back together and doing that tour, I was like, it's tough to be out there.
Yeah.
With everyone at home and trying to, FaceTime and then, the wife is pissed off, and well, now my ex, but whatever. That's a whole different thing. Looks like you guys start June. Is it June 11th or no? Those are different shows.
I think it's July.
July 20th. Summer Jam in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Looks like.
Boom. Jason, do you like festivals, or do you prefer like concerts, like where it's like more of your crowd?
Honestly, it's two different animals. I like the whole festival thing because you get to connect with a bunch of people that you wouldn't get to normally,
Sure.
and try to like win a bunch of other fans over. But there's something really special about the headline dates when you're in an arena full of people and everyone sings every word of every song.
Yes. Agreed. Totally. I feel the same way.
Yeah, but like
so cool.
The cool thing about festival stuff, as I'm sure it's getting to see your peers and people that you don't usually get to bump into,
right?
And experience a bunch of bands that you're a fan of as a musician too, and getting to just see that so close and firsthand of how like other bands tick and how other shows work and stuff. So I love that part of the festival circuit for sure.
Absolutely.
Do you capitalize on that experience, like not just by watching the bands, but like trying to go and maybe have a conversation with some of the members and your peers?
I try to. I'm a little shy, I try to kick myself out of my own way sometimes, but
I know that. We're a guy in the back with our drums around us. We're like, hey.
Exactly. Like, you can see me. That's good enough.
Exactly. Got similar personality, I think.
Yeah, right.
Let me ask you this, Jason, because a lot of musicians and people that you meet in the entertainment business are like shy, sometimes introverts. So it's like, did you realize like what could possibly come of your love for the drums and being a musician, that you could get some fame and like maybe it be in some situations where like you didn't want to be, like around like a lot of people and all that jazz?
Yeah, like I never really thought that far ahead. I was lucky enough that I could see that it was an actual path, and that being a professional in the music industry was an actual job, just because of my parents. So by default, it wasn't kind of like this thing in the cloud that I'm trying to grab. It was like really based in reality, which, I feel like that's kind of an advantage at a point, because a lot of people, when they're coming up, they're trying to make ends meet, and it's kind of hard to see the silver lining of the situations you're in,
Yeah.
you know?
100.
So, it was never my goal to like get fame or anything like that. It was just, being able to imprint on something and be a part of something that meant something, not just to myself, but to other people.
Yeah. I guess that's what I was kind of getting at. It's like people don't realize like what the byproduct is of like them being a musician and being great at it and stuff like that. And sometimes becomes like more than you could chew at some point. Like Kurt Cobain is a prime example. He hated the fame and the limelight, and his band took off and became like one of the biggest ones in the world. And then supposedly couldn't handle it as well and didn't want to be around it. So it's like, yeah, you kind of don't, you're in it for the love of the music. And then all of a sudden you got a whole nother side that you weren't even thinking about sneaking up on you.
Totally, man. Yeah.
Chad knows it well too.
Yeah. I mean, we were just all about the music when we were coming up. And I mean,
Totally.
I will admit the first gig we played as a 3-piece was our middle school talent show. And we won the talent show. So having all the girls screaming at us was a good motivator too. We're like, oh, I like this. This is cool. Let's do more of this.
Yeah. I just saw something. I want to put this up there. Do you guys know where Cumberland County is? Somebody put that up there and it just piqued my interest, because there's a huge wildfire going on in New Jersey. And I don't think this is the one that.
Oh, Cumberland County's in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. So Chad and Jason, there's like 14,000 acres in New Jersey that's been on fire since like two days ago, and they cut it off. So they fought fire with fire. That's how big it was. They had to so it was burning in one spot. They had to like burn into it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they do.
That's crazy.
I'm very familiar with that. Living in California, would know all about that. But I heard they called an arsonist doing it. Didn't they catch a guy?
Yeah.
Set the fire.
Yep.
Whoa.
Supposedly it was like a 19-year-old kid, and he didn't do it on purpose. He was setting wood pallets on fire in the woods. I'm guessing this is his story, but come on, dude, you can't be that dumb. You know,
you can claim to be.
Yes. Yeah.
You can try, but good luck.
Good after the fact. But so when the fire started, I had never seen smoke like this in the sky. So I'm like driving, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a huge storm rolling in. And then, like start hearing like on Facebook and all that, oh, there's a huge fire. And then I'm start to smell it. I'm like, oh shit. And we live close to a fucking decommissioned nuclear power plant. So,
oh God,
I was getting a little freaked out.
Yeah. With that, unfortunately, I'm all too accustomed to that living in Southern California.
What, power plants or the fires?
The fires, just to see I can immediately go, oh, there's a fire, huge friggin' smoke plume. That's not a cloud. You just can
God,
tell.
that's terrifying.
It's wild. Yeah, it is. There's been one that was kind of close to me that was far enough away that would never get, but I mean, I could watch it burn up on the hill, on the mountainside.
Oof.
Wow.
That was recently.
The latest LA fires, that wasn't like started in woods or something, right? It was like, that was arson too. And I think it was like on houses or something.
They think, the last thing I heard was that the Altadena fire was electrical lines, but the one in Palisades, I think, was arson, but I don't think they've found anybody yet.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The one in the Palisades was Altadena was pretty devastating too. That burned a lot of residential area, but Palisades, I mean, the whole place burnt down. It's crazy.
Can you imagine that's your thing? Like, oh, I want to start fires and watch devastation. Like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Well, it's sickos.
Yeah. Really?
And sometimes, in rare occasions, it's firemen that start the fires, because then they can go fight it.
Oh, wow. That's a fucking crazy.
I've heard cases like that. Yeah. I've heard cases where it's like fireman's a firebug, an arsonist, and they start fires so that they can respond and fight it. It's like, what?
Makes sense.
Jesus.
Jason, I want to bring up something serious here that I found out about. You had a real, well, yeah, it's nothing crazy like that, but it's scary. You had a bad bout of pneumonia in 2005, according to your Wikipedia. Is that true?
Pneumonia? No, that's not true.
That isn't?
There you go, Wikipedia.
Yeah, and don't trust the
Wow.
celebrity net worth thing either. It's like nothing's
Exactly.
accurate on there.
So you're not worth $2 billion. Holy
Right?
shit.
Oh, that's funny. Were you sick at all in 2005, Jason?
That was a long time ago, guys. Like,
Yeah.
20 years ago. Like,
That's hysterical, dude. That's why I usually don't trust Wikipedia, but I thought that you couldn't go in and like change shit like you used to back in the day. I thought you needed to like be like selected to do these things nowadays. So I figured they were a little bit better with their info. Like back in the
Maybe
day,
not.
couldn't anybody go in and change the Wikipedia?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think anyone could be an editor back then, but I don't know who thought I had to know.
Jason, sounds like you need to get in there and edit
Right?
some truth into your
For
Wikipedia
real.
profile.
That's funny.
Jason, how does the creating an album go with Our Lady Peace? Is it somebody bringing the songs to the table? Is it you guys in a room working stuff out? How does that go?
Great question. I was going to ask that myself, Lou.
My
I'm
bad.
curious how their process goes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a communal thing where everyone has the chance to bring ideas in. And it's always, the best idea wins, best song wins, and whatever's best for the song. So, this last bout, we're still recording the new record right now, but like this batch of songs that we have, we flew to LA with like a bunch of demos, got in a room together, and just like hashed stuff out,
Nice.
kind of formed them into a pre-production state and get ready to actually go into the studio. So it's a really supported way of doing it, and not like one person running the whole ship.
Sure.
There is like a hierarchy, obviously, being a band that's over 30 years old and everything, but like, it's everyone tries to support each other and lift each other up.
It's very cool. Yeah, we used to write like that. Our first 4 records were kind of written like that.
Yeah,
in a room, hashing out ideas, and it was a great way to do it. That's my favorite way to make music, is everyone sits in a room, everyone can, contribute something, or an arrangement, or make this section longer, or try this part. But we kind of stopped doing that, unfortunately.
It just seems like more heads are better than, one or two. Like you would think, unless they're just completely fucking crazy and giving you bad ideas all the time, then, but when you guys have proven it over and over. Have you ever been handed like sheet music? Like, Jason, this is what we need you to play right here. No improvise. Don't
Can
put
you
any
read
of
music, Jason? Drum music?
I can read music to a point. I have my own system for charting and stuff like that. I've done like a lot of sessions and stuff, so I got really good at being able to learn songs quickly. But I've never been like handed sheet music ever, which is great. I've been handed like charts and stuff for like arrangements and stuff, but it's never been like a note for note thing, being like, you missed that quarter note in bar 92. I'm like, I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I am amazed that drummers can play like that off of sheet music and just sit down and go boom, 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 boom. I'm like, because I have no concept of it. I can't even. I mean, I can probably figure it out, but I've never read drum music or used drum music.
I haven't had to since like high school. I think that was like the last time I've actually had to do sheet music like that.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Well, I played saxophone in all the. Oh, sorry, John. I played saxophone in all the school bands, so I could read that kind of music, like for sax, but I never tried to do drum music. I just did everything by ear.
Yeah, I feel you.
It seems like it would take the fun out of it, like almost like you're doing like, reading a book rather than watching a movie type of deal. Not that reading a book is.
I guess it would be less about like, the creative thing and more about trying to make it just feel good off the sheet, Yeah. Which is a whole other set of challenges, I guess.
Right. I was just going to say, like, why do you like playing music? Probably not to do something like that, but something like you create or you feel, as opposed to just like, oh, this is the beat that's on the page.
Yeah, totally. But I've done like a lot of gigs too, where, like the bigger pop gigs where you're pretty much expected to play things almost note for note. So I don't think that's that far off of that,
Right.
And it's the same thing on those things, was always being like, how do I make my heart connect to this? And how do I make like it feel good? Because the audience knows if you're phoning it in or if you're actually like in the moment,
Right. And you would kind of think if you're picking a position like a musician to play, like either, you know, a part of your song or in the band or whatever, like if you're picking that musician, you're probably picking them because you see something different in them than just something that every other musician can do. Like I was listening to, sorry, go ahead.
No, not at all. I totally agree.
Okay. I was listening to Elton John and he said like people would ask him to like come do a cameo on their record and he would get there and do like it like Elton John would and they'd be like, no, can you do it this way? And he was like, well, didn't you hire me to do it my way? Like
I'm Elton fucking John. I'll do it my way.
Yeah, man. And he still got it, dude. He's put, I don't know if the album's out yet, but I heard a couple songs off of it. He put out an album with Brandy Carlisle. Like they wrote the album together with, I guess, a couple other writers, like in a room, like musicians do. And the songs I heard, dude, fucking A, are they great? Like, you know, this dude is how old, still making great music. And then Brandy's got that great voice in the background. It's really cool. A lot of the bands from that era aren't putting out their best work, you know, at this time. And it seems like he might be.
So do you have a release date for the new OLP record? Is it going to be done by the tour or do you guys just?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't really have a firm release on it yet. We've recorded 3 tracks. I think we're getting together to record soon. But I don't think the record itself is going to be completed by then.
No.
Yeah, I would assume fall, I think. Yeah, it's just a matter of like finding time to have everyone kind of like get in the same room. It's hard like with half the band living in California and half of us in Canada.
Right.
It's like, you know, there's a lot of challenges and you know, Rain has a lot of like tech projects and stuff like that going on too. So I know there's like just time commitment stuff that is a little dicey sometimes.
Do you guys like to play the new songs live to kind of flesh them out that way too? I mean, because you know, you record a song and then, or you write a song and then you start playing it live, and different things happen when you're playing stuff live. Do you guys do 100%. That? Cool.
Yeah. Like when we have the opportunity to.
Right.
We had a song called "Stop Making Stupid People Famous" that we. Well, we started playing it on that tour with you guys.
Okay.
And then we finished recording it, I think, actually during that tour. So I'm sure some of the parts and stuff like that would have kind of come to fruition during that time period.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, I like that process of writing a song, and we would take it out and play it in front of audiences, and it sometimes make it a lot better.
See what's working and what's not working pretty quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you guys don't care about being like not so polished on stage and like kind of maybe fucking up if it's something you guys are working on that you don't mind.
I didn't say we weren't polished. Come on.
All right.
I didn't say we're gonna fuck it up.
Okay. All right. My bad.
No, it's just you. I mean, when we play a song like that, we'd have our parts down and we could play the song, but it would just a different energy would come into it. You'd play a section harder or softer based on the audience reaction or just how you were feeling in the moment. And that would translate onto how you recorded on the record. So that's what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we wouldn't be fucking it up and playing shitty.
No, not at all. It's professionals, man.
I figured. I just got to, you know. Jason, I was going to ask you why you went to record some of this album in LA, but it seems like some of your bandmates live over there.
Yeah. Rain and Steve live out there, and we did some pre-production for this record out there, but we've actually been recording in Nashville mostly. Yeah, with a guy named Nick Raskolinix, who did I think a bunch of the big Foo Fighters records and some Rush records, and I got to play on Neil Peart's kit, which was insane. He had every size of tom. I'm just like, what do I need?
Oh yeah,
all of them.
Where did you do that at DW?
In Nashville.
Nashville. They had. Oh my god.
Yeah, because Nick had produced a couple of those Rush records, and then at the end of that, Neil gave Nick one of his kits.
Oh, wow, you just gave Chad a boner.
yeah, right.
That's amazing. Wow.
I know. It's crazy.
Was it one of the custom one with like the cool shells, like the graphics on the shells and stuff that he?
No, it was a burst finish kit. It might have been over an exotic like veneer. It was made by DW for Neil's like home for him to like practice on basically, but he pulled it in to record those records, and then like Nick liked them so much.
That's awesome.
Just thinking about that, I'm curious how many drum sets a guy like Neil Peart had. It's like
How many do you have?
Well, I have 2 DWs and I had like 6 pearls, but I sold some of the pearls and I kept a few select ones.
Yeah,
I was kind of like pissed off at Pearl, but I have a mahogany kit that I kept and a silver sparkle.
Ooh, beautiful, man.
Yeah, that was I played that on Distance to Here tour. It was a silver
Sick.
sparkle. That's really cool. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Jason,
so I pared it down a little bit. I said I had
figured.
cases of friggin' Pearl hardware. I'm like, what am I doing with all this? Like, I gotta get rid of this shit.
I know.
Thanks for giving me a set, Chad. Jason, what makes you pick like one of these studios as opposed to, because it seems like you got a full setup right behind you there that could accommodate what you guys do. Is there or is it like the producer that makes you pick the studio?
Yeah, kind of. The producer usually has a wish list of the gear that they kind of want to use, you know. And I don't have a Neve, you know, and $30,000 condensers. I have
Right.
nice gear, but like,
Yeah.
you know, I can't compete with a commercial studio. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and this studio that I'm in, this is actually in my house. So, you know,
Cool.
the guys don't usually come here. Duncan, the bassist, he comes up here. We practice and write and stuff, but
That's
the
cool.
other guys, when they're in town, you know, we'll get together at a proper place.
I was gonna say you can't expect them to go to Canada. Come on, dude.
They come here. They come here.
Nah, I just bust them.
And are you in Toronto? Is that where you are?
I'm an hour north of Toronto now.
Hour, okay.
Yeah, I'm up on like Lake Simcoe. My kid goes to school around the corner, and it's perfect. The suburban life, you know.
Oh yes.
And close to a city, but out.
Like Mr. Suburban here. Like it's Suburbanville.
Yeah, close enough.
Orange County is basically Suburbanville. The whole damn thing is like suburbs. It's wild.
Volleyball dad. He's got his minivan and all.
I don't minivan. I've not bowed down to that. I don't wear Crocs and I don't have a minivan. So
whoa, with the Crocs, dude. Yes,
sorry,
tell him, Jason.
I'm sorry. I can't do Crocs.
You got to show those feet off, just in the little holes.
Well, there you go.
Now, is this true, Jason? You played music with Dallas Green, the dude from City and Color.
Yes.
Was this something to do with City and Color, Alexis on Fire, or something different?
When I was, I think, 20 years old, I was in my dad's warehouse, and this song came on the radio called The Grace. And it was this band that was being tested for the first time ever on radio in my hometown's market of London, Ontario. And the band was Never Ending White Lights. And it was basically this Canadian project that had a bunch of other singers guest on the songs. So Dallas was on the song called The Grace that became like the biggest hit from this band. But Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace sang on a song from this record. And who else? Chad Sexton from 311 was on this one.
Sweet.
Nick, or who was it?
Was this a harder record?
That's who it was. No, it was like kind of like a bunch of like kind of atmospheric ballads.
Sick.
Yeah,
checking it out for sure, dude.
It was a really cool project, and I ended up putting the whole live band together with them. And I was in that band for, I think, 3 years. And they're honestly kind of responsible for me meeting the Our Lady Peace guys, because we ended up doing a tour opening for Our Lady Peace, which was my first like arena tour I ever got to go on. It was opening for OLP with Never Ending White Lights back when I was like 20.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Crazy how life works, and these little things lead you to these big things, man.
100%. And it's like, it was Never Ending White Lights management ended up being the same management of OLP, and was like my segue into having them represent me when I was talking to Paramore, and then them putting me in when OLP needed a drummer, and like a bunch of other bands and stuff that just kind of like, you know, janged its way in and just, you know, held it all together.
Do you like kind of playing in multiple bands, or do you kind of like the root, like that you're got grassroots in one right now and kind of, you know, doing it that way? Or is it cool to kind of play in a bunch of different?
I like the security of being a part of something.
Sure.
You know, when I was a freelance guy, it takes very little to have the carpet pulled out from under you. And a very good friend of mine gave me the advice of being like, always have a plan for when the tour bus drops you off. And when you're disposable like that, it can happen anytime. You say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, you're just not the right person for the gig, and you have a plane ticket handed to you, and you're flying home.
Crazy
stuff.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's a million people that want those gigs,
Mhm.
and until you kind of learn how to maintain yourself and fit the mold, kind
Yeah.
of, it's really hard to sustain. So having way more with OLP, having like a brotherhood, having a bunch of people that support you on not just a professional level, but like an emotional level too, has been like the biggest thing for me.
The camaraderie and all that. Yeah. That
Yeah,
makes sense
totally,
for
man.
sure.
Well, you're spending how much time on the road with these people? If you don't have that kind of family unit and like
Y-
the love there, then like why are you doing it?
You're right.
100%.
And
Yeah.
there's probably bands that maybe don't know that method that you're talking about and just maybe doing it separate and stuff like that and don't realize how cool it could be if you all fucking get along and do, have the camaraderie.
Yeah, well, you gotta take the bullshit and throw it away sometimes, because what's best for the band, what's best for you know the
Yeah,
whole,
get the ego out of yourselves and what's best for the band, not what's best for this one person. Yeah, man.
or this
Totally.
moment. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well said, dude. This is a little not segued, but that tattoo on your neck, man. Talk to me about it. How did that feel? And because I'm just imagining that's a painful area. I'm thinking.
It was terrible. It
Yeah.
was absolutely terrible. It was like I have an all-seeing eye upside down on my throat. It was 2 sits of like I think 3 or 4 hours over
Wow.
like a couple weeks, and yeah, I was a lot braver back then. I just started
Sure.
getting tattooed again for the first time in like 9 years,
Oh, wow.
a few months ago. So I've been working on my left leg, uh, and you know what? I don't. I remember it hurting more. I don't know if it's like I'm just like numb to life a little bit more now or something, but like
Ah,
I remember when I was younger being like, I can't do this, I can't do this, and now I'm like, don't stop. Like for the
really?
love of God, don't stop.
Wow. I've had some serious pain before with tattoos, but I've never got, and I've got it to where it's like okay feeling, like it doesn't hurt, but I've never been like keep going, like this is great,
I
It's
think I'm
always like,
sadistic at this point, but
yeah, man.
like it's fine, it's fine, I'm good.
I'm naked. I have no tattoos. I made it
Yet,
Oh, so you stand
53
out then?
years. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Especially on a tour, like everyone has tattoos,
Like,
Yeah.
right?
or seemingly anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
Chad said his first tattoo is a face tattoo, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
yeah,
Right,
full
Chad?
face. You know whose tattoo I really liked was Gavin Rossdale's arm tattoo.
Yeah, me too.
It was
What
really
is it?
cool. It's like these it was these angular patterns, and they were really
Yeah, like a
precise
geometric
and filled
thing.
in, and geometric, and like there was like really precise lines
Yeah,
between them that were blank and really cool. I think it's on
patterns
his
and
left
shit.
arm, I believe. I
All
forget.
Yeah.
seeing eye, right
Oh, you got
here.
that too.
Nice.
You're both
Yeah,
from the
buddy.
Illuminati. Great.
Oh my God.
I knew it.
Yep. So Chad's in the CIA and we're in the Illuminati. Man, we're taking over the world. Look out.
Right? All
So,
corners.
so Jason, I had a theory last week, and you probably kind of could imagine this. So in 94, there was the Oklahoma City bombing. And then in 2001, there was 9/11. And in both of those U.S. tragedies, Chad's band Live in Oklahoma City, Lightning Crashes came out and was like the song that was played all over with like clips in the background, bombs blowing up and all this stuff. And in 9/11, it was Overcome. So I'm like, it's really weird that two tragedies in America came out and you, both of them, your band was like the healing songs behind it. So I came up with a theory that Live was in the CIA and causing this stuff and using their music to brainwash people and, stuff like that.
Well, it's easier to predict the future when you make it happen, right? So
Exactly. That's
Boom.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. No, I mean, both obviously big tragedies, but we were having a good time with joking that Live
that's
was a
crazy.
CIA project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just happened completely organically on both things. We were just like, what? Lightning Crashes was it was a big song at the time, so it was kind of obvious. But then the Overcome thing, that wasn't even a single off the record. Was that 5 that was on? Yeah, That wasn't even a single, and like so just somehow spontaneously,
Wow,
VH1 made this video with it, and it was just played all the time during 9/11.
that's
It's pretty
amazing
wild.
for the band.
Yeah,
Like,
and we were the record was out, and we were like, well, let's make it a single, and we'll donate some of the proceeds to the 9/11 fund, or what. I guess it didn't exist then, but to whatever we can. And the record company's like, no. So
the record
Here,
company's like, no,
yeah, they're like, no, we're
of
not doing that.
course.
and it's getting free radio play and free VH1 and MTV play. Like if they would have capitalized on that, it's absurd.
Well, at
It's
least, yeah. I mean, not really. I wouldn't say
not
capitalize,
capitalized, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, make something out of it. And the record company didn't want to do it. That record was wild. We had like 3 big chances like that to do something, and they had a couple movies, and they wouldn't. The record
Oh
company
man,
wouldn't
they
do
just
anything.
slept on all of them.
Yeah, it was wild. That was the 5th record, obviously named 5, but on MCA, and there was a whole new guard there. They didn't give a shit about us. It's wild.
Yeah,
That's crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
totally.
It really is. So what was I going to say about, I think the conspiracy goes deeper because you guys had that, because you were planning or knew the 2001 was happening, and you had that Overcome song in 98, dude. That's the scary part. And then it doesn't get released till 2001 when it happens. So it was all planned. And
Our CIA handlers told us to start writing it in 98. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Jason, I promise you I'm not crazy. I'm just having some fun here.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is like, what did I get myself into? Oh,
Just a little uncomfortable over here in Canada.
oh my.
You should be used to that. It is Canada. I mean, come on now. No. But hey, a lot of my favorite people came out of Canada, dude. Jim Carrey, John Candy, some other JC initials, right? Jim Carrey, John Candy, Justin Bieber, who I believe you played. Did you play with him or something? Not
I played
play music with him
for a while.
Oh, that's sick, man.
Yeah, he was amazing. Like, I've never heard girls scream that loud in my life.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, that was a whole different thing.
Was it during his because he came into the business like young and had to like kind of get his way in the world? Was he going through like a crazy phase at the time you were working with him, or was it like one of his like now normal?
No, it was like right when he was starting to really, really blow up. He wasn't like in the stadiums or anything like that yet. But I actually played on the debut of his song "Baby."
Oh wow!
We did this. Yeah, we did this like intimate and interactive thing at Much Music, which is kind of like Canada's MTV. And yeah, it was intense, man. Like, I think they were so secret about the song itself that they wouldn't show me the actual track, and I had to chart the song off of a backing track with just like backing vocals going on and stuff.
Wow.
Oh, it was like, yeah, we got like one run through before we like started taping, and like
shit.
Yeah,
that's a high pressure situation.
For real,
terrifying, man, just terrifying.
I bet on Much Music. Oh my god.
Are they worried like you're gonna leak the song or something? Like, what's the thought process behind that?
Probably, yeah, it was probably something to do with that. Like, I didn't have to sign like an NDA or anything, so like.
That's wild. I've never even heard about anything like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like that type of pressure though, man. Like, I like having to kind of fly like that. Sink or swim.
You work better under like the pressure as opposed to, I got all the time in the world here, let's play it slow. No, that's not.
I don't know if I work better. I'm not going to say it's better. I'm just going to say that I can survive if that happens. Like,
that makes sense. So yeah, I guess I'm going to say I work better under pressure too. That's why I procrastinate. I like to give myself the least amount of time and then boom, get right to it. Gotta go.
That's awesome.
Are you, I try to ask this to a lot of musicians, but I don't know if I ever do. Do you believe that records sound better than CDs or like, digital files?
Oh, the old like vinyl thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different life on a record. I believe it makes a big difference when you're like recording to tape compared to digital. If you're starting there, then you're going to get like a way different product by the time it makes it onto vinyl. If you're, printing in a Pro Tools and then putting it onto vinyl, it's like you've already kind of lost how much information.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
You
Are
know?
you guys recording on 24 track
No.
tape? No.
No.
Yeah, no one
I
does
wish,
anymore.
but
I know.
no, man.
It's great for bass and drums. I mean, that's where it really is
Bass
great.
drums, man, through on tape. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
How come? Is there something going on from like when it's converted to a digital signal or something?
We can't explain it to you, John.
Got you. I'm saying
it's
like,
just I'm kidding.
well, no, because you could hear it as a fan of music. Like you could hear like something doesn't sound like as warm or something as it used to, or it just sounds like processed or something. So it's like even the layman kind of could pick up on it. But I was just wondering if you like knew where it was getting lost in translation. But
the best way it was explained to me was that, like, picture like a hole in the wall, and you're throwing like a bucket of water at the hole of the wall. A bunch of the water is going to go through the hole, but a bunch is going to hit the wall and just get lost. That's kind of like audio going into digital.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation. I like that. I would use that.
That stuck with me too. I'm like, I know what I'm talking about now.
Sounds smart.
Tell you where I
didn't
got
come up with that. Like,
I got it. It was definitely banging, but as soon as you said hole in the wall, I went glory hole, and my brain drifted a little bit. But then you got me back. You got me back.
That's why you went so quiet.
That's where I go.
You go to glory holes?
I don't know if I would, dude, because if you could guarantee me that it's a chick on the other side, yeah. But if it could be like, it could be an ugly chick. It could be an ugly chick too. But if all of a sudden I'm feeling a mustache, no good, no bueno.
Oh my
god. Sorry, Jason. These are the tangents we take on the show.
You gotta have fun nowadays, Jason, right? Everybody's too serious, I think.
Absolutely.
Especially with all the turmoil going on. So you recorded a song when you guys were touring back with Live in 2016. That's going to be on this new record, you were saying?
It was 2019.
Oh, 2019.
And, yeah, that record actually came out already. That was Spiritual Machines 2, which we released we released during the pandemic, or like right when things started to open up again. But we had to record that whole record pretty much remotely. So yeah, it was super challenging.
How long did you guys take off for the pandemic? Did you tour in 21 or 22?
Take off.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I was locked in my house for about 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys went back out in 22-ish, 23, or when did you?
I think it was
start going back out.
Might have even been like 21. I know we went out when things opened back up, but like we came home to like another lockdown like the next day.
Oh Jesus! Wow.
Yeah, and when like being Canadian with like the border rules and stuff like that, we Duncan and I flew to LA to do the Stop Making Stupid People Famous music video and a photo shoot and that stuff. Then when we came home, we had to like quarantine for 2 weeks. They wouldn't let us leave our property. And they had officers coming around, like checking on us to make sure that we're actually on our properties and all that shit. It's like,
so they let you go to your house in quarantine there. They didn't put you in like a hotel room for.
Well, yeah. They let us go to the house at least, because I had heard about people having to go to those quarantine hotels and stuff, which is just it's insanity.
It is.
Yeah, we were. I mean, obviously, we did 3 shows, I think, in 2020, and then we were supposed to go to Australia in the spring of 2020. That obviously didn't happen. And I think sometime in like 21, they were talking about sending us back down there, but we would have had to quarantine in a hotel for 2 weeks, not leave the hotel room at all. Couldn't be with it. You couldn't go see anybody. You had to stay in your hotel room for 2 weeks. Just get meals delivered to you. We were like,
nope.
Nah.
That kind of sounds a little relaxing. I don't know if I'd be against that. Like once in my life.
Well, believe me, I'm a homebody, so I do like staying in my house, and I could get through that. But like, just the thought of not being able to leave or walk outside was like, that's a little different.
Yeah, like if it was like they didn't tell you couldn't leave, you could probably be there for 2 weeks. But the fact that you can't is like, fuck.
I just thought of this. Imagine the maid service going in after 2 weeks trying to clean that room.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Oh. That's a great observation, because I don't even know if the maids probably were not even allowed to go in there. That's
exactly. So that's going to be 2 weeks of just frustration and like
just dropping off towels and toilet paper outside your door. Like,
right?
Take care of it.
Please stay. Jesus. I need some human interaction.
Talk to me.
Please.
Wow. No thanks.
Uh,
It was a wacky time, the whole thing. Jesus.
yeah, man.
So I always try to live vicariously through rock stars, and I haven't been having the best luck here, Jason. So I'm hoping you change it for me here. After the shows, do you party, have a good time, like, or because I'm hearing people just straight to tour bus, go to sleep, wake up. Please tell me different.
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet. I enjoy a glass of wine and like sitting on the couch and maybe a piece of pizza.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
very few and far between will I like let myself have more than that.
Wow.
I've gone off in my life. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Sure.
a saint, but like,
Yes.
it's just different. You do it long enough, and it's
right.
like the excitement's not the same for that.
Exactly.
And then that ends up taking away from the actual job part of it. So,
yeah,
it's
just we have no Led Zeppelins anymore. No fucking people destroying hotel rooms and getting their stomach.
If Led Zeppelin would have continued, John Bonham didn't die, they would have gotten into the 80s, maybe 90s, and they probably would have been doing the same thing.
True.
Yeah.
Play the show, go on the bus.
True.
Nice piece of pizza, man.
Yeah, exactly. Have some wine. Even John Bonham would be like, "Hey, wine, I'm going to bed. See ya."
Right? That'll put you right down. Like
this show has been removing the veil of rock stardom since we started. The perception, what you guys do, like, is debauchery, craziness, and we're not slowly. I think we've been ripping it off like a Band-Aid since we started this show.
That happens with bands in like when they're in their 20s and maybe early 30s. That's where I was when I was going off between marriages. I'm like, hey, let's fucking go have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna say, I don't think I've had one, Chad, to give me. I mean, you've given me a couple, but besides you, we haven't had a guest on here that's really given us like some crazy rock star stories. It's always like, nah, man, we really just play our show. Maybe sometimes check out the other band, and got to go to bed.
Yeah, man. You send each other reels on Instagram. It's fine.
Yeah. So you're normal people is basically what it is. Wow.
Go figure. We're just normal people.
Crazy, man. It is funny though when you meet somebody that you put on a pedestal and you're like, oh, he's like literally a normal dude or a normal girl, and you've had something built up completely different in your brain.
Most of the time, the drummers and the bassists are pretty normal.
Yeah,
guitar players, singers, we don't know.
Lars,
with exceptions.
There you go. Lars gives you folks a wacky name.
Well, there's Lars.
Yeah,
true.
He's a character.
There's exceptions to every rule.
This is true. This is true. When you were mentioning that early set that you played, Jason, the blue one with sparkles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was that the drum set that they had in that movie? Was it called The Wonders, or was the band called, Tom Hanks was in it and he was like their manager, and it was like an old school drum set that the guy was playing. And when you said that, I kind of had that vision in my head, and I was wondering, do you know what movie I'm talking about?
I don't know the movie, and I'm not familiar with that.
That thing you do with Tom
Hanks. You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing you do. That's the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that drum kit.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember the drum kit in that movie.
Hey, I'm making stuff up in my head today, Jason. So I thought I saw Chad's TikTok video days ago, and
pneumonia. Jesus, John, what are you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Coming out with some doozies here.
Hey, man, it happens. It happens. I think I was cleaning with bleach and ammonia, and it's causing a weird thing to happen here. So,
oh my God.
If I pass out, send the ambulance. Jason, we have had emergencies on this show, believe it or not, because it's live. Chad's mom was actually on. She was the guest that day, and I had EMTs here and police. It was one for the records.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a drug dealer, so they had to come in and bust me.
He's also a comedian. Which is true.
Right?
It doesn't come across a lot, but sometimes I get one out there.
That's freaking awesome.
Speaking of Jason, what was like? Do you get intimidated before concerts, or is it like adrenaline kicks in and you're like ready for it? Do you get nerves? What do we feel like before a show?
Honestly, it's like, it's not just before the show for me. It's like the whole show day. It's an underlying almost like, excitedness mixed with anxiety. I'm very aware of like little things like, oh, is my wrist hurting? Oh, is my back hurting a little bit? Is that going to affect this? Is that going to do this? I have to make sure I eat a certain way to make sure that my body is working this way. I got to drink enough water so I don't get all cramped up.
Yeah.
All those things. And it's like, there's so much that goes on in my head that I don't know if every other drummer is going through this crap, but it's like, no one in the audience is ever going to know that. No one's going to be like, that guy is just insane. He's just
Right.
overthinking everything all the time. But like, yeah.
I do the body ache thing, and like, you know, you hit a finger, jam a finger, you're like, can I play? Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
I've
Grab
done
sticks
that.
right away. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah. But I didn't have anxiety about, or that kind of anxiety about the show. I would kind of not think about it until got to the gig.
So it's kind of like, it seems like you guys have your routine, almost like a 9 to 5, or where, you know, you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee, you do this, and you kind of have your steps before you get to your job type of deal. It seems like you almost kind of do the same thing. Like you're thinking of body aches or whatever. Have you gotten to the point, like I know I have, where I'm going to make a coffee, I spill it in the morning. It could fuck up the first hour and a half of my day where I'm like, you son of a bee, just had to spill it. Do you have things that could, well, you said it won't throw you off on stage, even if they know. So I guess you kind of answered that. I was going to ask if you've ever had anything that maybe got you out of your routine or whatever and threw you off and maybe affected your on-stage performance.
I'm pretty good at being able to let things go for the most part. I know a lot of people that aren't good at that, and it can kind of like get them in their own way a lot of the times. But like, I've been really, I've kind of trained myself to be able to let it all go and just be like, it's okay, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Zen.
Yes.
Yeah, man. You got it.
It makes you focus when you get on stage. Like you got to put everything out of your mind.
Absolutely.
Going on. Yeah.
Have you ever been like fucking like jamming in your head, shit's going crazy, and then like the moment you hit the kit, it all goes away? Like, has it ever been that close to whatever, and then it doesn't fuck with your performance? Or do you kind of get whatever you out like maybe a couple minutes beforehand-ish?
I think the closest experience I had like that was we were playing a place in Toronto called the Molson Amphitheater, and it was with Never Ending White Lights, opening for OLP, oddly enough, for this thing called, what was it, Edge Fest, I think. And my dad came into the show, and my dad had like a blood pressure problem, and he had a bunch of Rolos before he got to the venue. And he started like demanding he was going to come backstage and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm the opener on like a festival. Like, I can't get you backstage. And I got so upset that like I was basically in tears at the side of the stage before he went on. And I don't remember the show. I remember like walking on a stage and walking off the stage. But like, I'm sure I played really emotionally that night. That's what I'd like to think.
Yeah.
No recording exists, I'm sure.
I hope not. Like, just me crying, like not even playing. Like, what's wrong with that man? Like,
Wow.
Everything's recorded. Everything is on YouTube. I swear. It's like, you know, even if you can't find it for a while, it all pops up.
So was your dad like manic from the blood pressure and like the
situation? Like spiked himself with like sugar. He's diabetic as well, which was not like diagnosed till like later on, and like all that. Yeah. Wow. So it was a situation.
Yeah, that could be a lot to take in, even if you're a headliner and your dad's like that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Totally. That's why I try not to have family at shows.
Well, it's funny. My mother has a running joke. You know, our parents would come to all the shows, like, because we grew up together, and all of our parents would hang out and whatever. And my mom and Chad's mom especially were good friends, but we would give them the all access pass that we had, right?
Yeah.
But they still couldn't get backstage because they will walk up to the security guard and be like, "Hi, this is my pass," and the guy would be like, "You're not coming back." Instead of just walking by everybody. You know how when we're backstage, we just walk by. We don't show our pass unless some guy's like, "Hey." But my mom is, to this day, she's like, "I could never get backstage no matter what pass you gave me." I'm like, "That's your fault. It's not my fault."
Yeah, man. Just walk.
Like, what are you doing?
Because you could get backstage without a pass, even as a dude, like just by walking, pretending like you belong there. You know, I've done that before at a Dave Matthews show.
At a Dave Matthews show, nice.
Yeah, it was wacky, dude. And then eventually, I think somebody found me out. I was incredibly
backstage at our show.
Yeah. Oh, a couple times, but the one Chad's referring to was like a nightmare for me.
It's a great story.
Yeah, Jason, I'll tell you the abbreviated version, but I was young, dumb, and dating a chick, and my mother, myself, and my brother and my girlfriend went to this live show in New Jersey, and my girlfriend and mother get backstage because they're like decent looking ladies, and I'm stuck with my 11-year-old brother looking for them. I'm like, where the hell did these ladies go? Put two and two together that they're backstage. Go up to the security guard with my little brother, make up some shit. My dad's looking for us. I got my little brother. My mother's up there. Can we go up and get her? Blah, 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 blah. He lets us go by, get it. So I walk up to this awesome, like, VIP backstage event that Live's putting on, and I'm walking. I'm like, where the fuck is my girlfriend? Because in my brain, she's blowing Chad and Ed and everybody in there. And so as soon as I do that, the cool like atmosphere just immediately stops. Everybody looks at me, and then I bring it up a notch. I'm like, yeah, where is she? And I'm still going. And then I find them in a closet smoking some weed with Patrick Delheimer, the bassist of the band. And so pull them out, Stu. And again, this is not me, Jason. I would never react this way now. I was young. So yelling, we all get outside. As soon as the door behind me closes, I'm like, you were just backstage with Live, you moron. What did you just do? Like, you could have went up there, had a cool time, hung out, and then fucking got mad at your girlfriend if you wanted to. But yeah, so I handled that completely wrong.
Missed opportunity.
That's funny.
Yeah. I felt like a moron. And then as I tell the story, I'm like, oh God, it's I was young, but it's embarrassing to.
I make him tell the story all the time.
He does.
As you should.
Making me. I ruined his night, so he's got to take a couple of mine away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Completely get it. But yeah, so do you guys do you have fun meeting fans? I know you said you're kind of reserved and stuff like that, but I'm sure people want to come up and say hi. Is that awkward for you, or is it sometimes cool?
I think it's amazing. Just the fact that there's people out there that have a connection with the songs enough to want to like put a face behind the name too, and like just hearing some people's stories and like what they go through in life and stuff like that, it just gives you a different perspective on how fortunate any of us are to do what we do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I like hearing people's stories and then relating it back to my life. They're like, oh, this song played while I was doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, I have those songs with other bands and bands that I've got to meet or talk to actual members and stuff. U2 is a big one for me. So I got to meet everybody in the band except for I've never met Larry. I've met Bono and The Edge and Adam. Yeah, I've never met Larry is probably one of my biggest influences, and I've never gotten to meet him. So
that's too bad, man.
Someday maybe. But
I hope so. I hope that happens.
Live fucked up because we were asked to open for them in '94. And we had just booked a theater tour and we were headlining and it was like a next step in our career. We wanted to do it. And so we turned them down. And I think we're one of the very, very few bands that turned them down. And cut to 2022, a good friend of mine who is friends now with Jerry Harrison, who produced our records, Talking Heads, they had dinner with Larry in New York, and my friend Brian was like, hey, we know the band Live, and he's like, oh, those guys. He's still upset with us. I'm like, God damn it. Like one of my biggest influences is upset with me. So hopefully someday I'll get to meet him and apologize profusely. But
right? Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a hard decision to make. I mean,
of course.
And you got to wonder.
Hindsight, we probably should have done it, but
I was just going to say, Chad, because when we spoke about this one other time, and you said in hindsight we should have done it, and at the time you said that, I was thinking, should they have? Because they went on their own, like, what are the pavilion tours? What are those called? The amphitheater tour, and like that was big because they're headlining it. But I won, and again, you guys took that.
No, we were doing theaters. We were doing like 2,000 to 3,000 seat theaters, and we booked it and sold out, and it was like.
So then,
amazing.
If you were at U2 concerts they might have had a bigger crowd in there, and maybe you would have gotten more fans then, possibly.
Well, I don't know about for the career step. It probably would have been the same kind of step for us, playing the theaters on our own or opening for U2. But just the experience of doing it. Would have been amazing.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That would have been wild, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was in Never Ending White Lights, they got asked to go out with Bon Jovi, and I was like 20 years old. It would have been like a stadium tour, probably. Wouldn't have even been like arenas.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and Bon Jovi, man. Like, I don't know how they turned that down.
Yeah. Sometimes, you make dumb decisions. We were asked to play at the White House in 94 or 95, excuse me. And we didn't do it because we were tired. We had just finished touring for Throwing Copper, and we played the last show. We sold out the Philadelphia Spectrum at the time. And we were just so friggin' tired. We were like, we're not, no.
Dude, how long were you guys out for on that cycle?
We were out for about 18, 19 months straight, basically.
Jesus.
Because Throwing Copper came out, we were in clubs at that point, and we transitioned through clubs, theaters. We did amphitheaters, arenas, like all that through there. But it was just like nonstop because we were just building. The record was blowing up, and
totally.
You know how you get in that cycle? You're just like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Even in our 20s, we were just like, by the end, we're like, God damn, we can't do this anymore. We're gonna
dance, monkey,
die.
dance.
Yeah, dance monkey. And then Bill Clinton calls, and we're like, nah, we're good, we're tired.
That's crazy. Like, I can't think of, again, Jason, can you think of a time where you would be too tired to take up that opportunity? Like, doesn't it seem like only a once?
Maybe after 19 months of touring.
Yeah. I was just, because I'm just thinking, like, would it have like fucked up something like Chad, like made it like longer than just going there to perform? Like, would this have like?
No, it would have been a one-off. We were off the road for a couple of weeks, but we got the call and we're just like, oh my God.
That's hysterical.
Another thing, And I think there's probably a little cockiness to it, like, oh yeah, well, we're huge and we can do it some other time kind of thing. There was a little bit of that too.
Totally. Like, Bill, don't you know we're fucking in the CIA and causing shit to happen here? So
we hadn't got recruited yet. Come on.
Yeah. That's now funny. We know that is. Was that around? That was around the time Bill got caught with Monica, or after? Before, after?
I didn't want to
where
touch
that was in that sequence. I don't know.
I saw she's coming back into the world. She's doing a podcast now, Monica Lewinsky. I feel bad for her, man. Like, could you imagine that is what you were known for? She was so young at the time, taken advantage of by the leader of the free world. And then from then till now, it's like, that's what she's been known as. Like, the girl who was doing whatever with the president. And, she was so impressionable at the time. Of course you're going to do that. But I'm glad she's coming out and like telling her story and like getting, like, she's owning it and like, not being afraid of it anymore and letting, whatever people rip on her for it, which is cool. Yeah. Take it back, baby.
Yeah. It's unfortunate though.
It really is.
I can't imagine living under a shadow like that.
No.
I'm being put in that position too when you're that young. Jesus.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got to cause PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you like it, you know what I'm saying? If the president was a chick and I was, doing whatever, might have been like, hey
there
now.
We go. There we go, John.
That's right. That's right. But then again, we'll never have a lady president, so I'm good here, folks. Jokes.
Then there's that.
There is that. We've tried. I've been trying to get a lady president in there. I do worry though. Yeah. Well, I guess, what is the age to be a president? 35?
35 minimum. Yeah.
So for a woman, it should be 55 after they go through menopause, and then we don't have to like go through their PMS period and they possibly bomb other places. Jokes, people. Anyway, Jason, so you said that you don't know when the album is coming out. You're recording in LA. It's not finished recording. Oh, you're recording in Nashville. Yeah, as well.
Yeah, a bunch of folks on there,
and it's not fully recorded though yet.
Yeah, not done yet. I think we're doing some stuff in a couple weeks that we have to like finish some other songs and stuff too. It's a process.
Rock on. My last question for you, and then we'll have you tell everybody where they can find you. Do you prefer performing in concert or recording an album? I know they're two totally separate, but if you had to pick.
I love playing live. Like there's nothing like when things actually connect properly and things hit.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's even probably like 70% of the time, or 40% maybe, that it actually hits that well. But you know, when it all connects, there's no other feeling that's better than that on earth, to me at least.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel there's a transfer of energy when it hits, like you're talking about, between you and the audience?
Yeah, man. It's like, well, when you're performing like that, you're not thinking about what you're playing. You're not thinking about anything but the moment you're in.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of people, it's tens of thousands of people having a moment together.
Completely present. You're the band and the people. Yeah. Not many times besides like a musical or a performance like that does that happen
Totally,
collectively.
man. Yeah, and you're bigger than the person you are in that moment. You're a collective, you know, like
Great description. Exactly.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jason, we want to thank you for coming on, dude. I had a blast with you. I'm sure Chad did.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me,
Thank you,
boys.
Jason. It was
My
awesome.
pleasure.
The way we do it is we always leave the audience wanting more. We get to introduce them to the guest, and we would hope to have you back on. So if you want to let the audience know where they could check out your band and maybe you on social media.
Yeah, ourladypeace.com for the band, and I'm Jason Pierce Drum on pretty much every platform.
Dude, thank you so much. Audience, go check them out. Go check them out this summer touring with the live cover band. Jason, thank you so much for coming on The Gracious 2.
And Collective
boys.
Soul. Don't forget.
Of
Thank you,
course.
Jason. Take care, bud.
Talk to you soon.
Peace. I had to give that little dig there for my, for that band. But dude, he's cool as hell, man.
Jason's awesome. Yeah, I got to hang out with him a few times on tour. Not enough, but I think we have, like I said, our personalities are very, very similar.
Yeah, it's so cool watching you interact with other drummers, dude. It's really like bringing like a different perspective that I think a lot of people have, and you're bringing in some awesome insights. So this is fun. Every time we get a drummer on here, you could tell you guys come alive and really start talking about stuff that you're both real passionate about, and it's fun to be a part of.
Well, they're my people, man. They're my people.
Yeah.
Even if we somehow get Lars on here, Lars and I will have a great conversation. I've met Lars a couple times. Lars is just, Lars is he's his own thing. He's just very talkative.
Yeah. Do you think that's because like a lot of the drummers really are in the background? So, when he does get the chance to be in front of a microphone, he's just like, let me get out there. And
I think for some drummers it's like that, or maybe Lars especially likes to talk, like I said. But I don't know. For me, it's whether I'm in front. Yeah, I mean, you don't get a chance to talk a whole lot when you're the drummer in the band. Even used to do some interviews, but that kind of curtailed. But it's good to, you just identify with each other too, because you both do the same thing. You talk about gear and experiences, and standing behind looking at the lead singer's ass all the time, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I have a question about the way you used to handle interviews back in the day. Was there like an agenda you had to follow, or were you yourself? Were there things like you were maybe afraid to talk about? Like, were you kind of like being soft?
Oh, there was, when I was doing interviews, there were subjects you wouldn't touch. I would at that point never be political. And we were kind of that way with the whole band, and it was nowhere near this kind of political climate it is now. But even then, you didn't want to alienate one side or the other. But I was mostly myself. I mean, there was no agenda. I wasn't given talking points. We didn't, there was.
But you'd hold back. You'd hold back a little bit and maybe not say something to divide the audience, like a political affiliation or
absolutely. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And there was no Joe Biden giving me the questions before the hand so I can answer them, have the canned answers for them. So, no.
I can't believe the CIA didn't set you up with that. Those morons.
Sons of bitches. They just let me out there hanging. No, really, I had an earpiece in telling me what to say.
Now it's coming out. Yeah. It is funny, though, that as we were doing the CIA thing, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that song came out in '98, so they were really preempting it. Now I'm adding to it, dude. Wait till what adds onto it next week. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
This will be the ongoing.
We'll keep the story going.
Yeah, totally. Until China goes to get you and Ed for being spies against them. Oh my god.
Yep. We played the Tibetan Freedom concert. I think we're blacklisted in China. So.
Yeah, bro. I bet you are. They don't fuck around if you go against the state, dude.
Yeah. I have no want to go to China anyway. So and I especially don't want to go find out the hard way that I was banned in China, get put in a Chinese prison. No thanks.
No fucking thank you, dude. Yo, did you hear this? China has like areas of it that are America. Like they have like a town, like a Montana town in China. That's like the exact town, the houses, the businesses, everything, the streets.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a whole reproduction of American towns?
Yep.
What is that? I mean, for the novelty of it, or like for strategic reasons?
So some like, of course the government's involved, but like one of their citizens like came up with this idea, and then they made it happen, and the values have like tripled and quadrupled since they did it in there.
Oh, that's hilarious! Wow,
crazy.
No idea.
I would pull it up, but I have to go search for it. Like I didn't have it ready, and I can't tell Bobby to pull it up.
That's right.
Background. That's right. Where are you, Bobby? You knew the show, but you're not here. You are. So you've been late. You've not showed. You could tell me next week that you were here and that you've always been here. You were never late and all that jazz.
Someone said earlier he's standing on the edge of the earth.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to say. To the flat earth people out there, because dude, they're fucking in troves with comments.
Oh, sure.
I would love to believe that the earth is flat because, and I get what you are all doing with the earth is flat, where the government and whoever's leading this world fucking order has lied to us for so long. So they must be lying to us about the world being round. Like, I get that point of view, but it's just a huge leap. And when you take that huge leap, it fucks up all the credible shit that you're saying, the credible stuff.
Right.
And it just turns people up. They're like, he believes the earth is flat. How can he also believe that Joe Biden was taking money from Ukraine and putting it in his bank account? That's got to be false too. You know? Like, people could go there with that.
Like you said, I identify with the sentiment of there's a larger force at work in the world that kind of runs everything, but I can't get with it's to the point where they've lied to us about the earth being a globe
for so long, and
and no one's ever blown the whistle on it, and no one officially. Like, no
government.
I mean, like the Chinese or the Russians know this and they're not fucking telling anybody. I mean, come on. I don't know.
Like, so if you were Russia or China, wouldn't that be the first thing you did to discredit the United States? Look, this is how they lie to you. This is how they've been keeping you down. And then,
I mean, you would think so, but who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I think I've said to you after that I've watched videos of physicists debating flat earthers real time and just debunking everything they're saying.
Right.
With science.
Same.
Right. So, and I've gone down that rabbit hole, the flat earth thing, and I've watched all the videos and checked out all the stuff. And I mean, he brought up, Flat Earth Dave brought up some valid things, and
sure.
But he's rattling. He had the thing with Flat Earth Dave, and I commend him for it on one level. It's like he had this whole presentation set up, and he has all these equations and all this information, and just like I can't. There's no way I can try to debunk this real time.
Right.
Plus the fact that Bobby's a flat earther, and I couldn't really ask him, hey, look up the Coriolis effect in naval gunfire.
Right. There is
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, it was interesting. And Dave, I commend him for his passion, and maybe he's right. I don't know.
Right.
Sure.
That's all
right.
Right. Yeah. I want the people to know. I believe the earth is round. I believe there's more evidence for that. I'm not opposed to it being flat. I just seriously think it is not. And I got to be proven otherwise, but I'm not shut off to it. Like I really would want to know if it is, and, get the question. Like, that's why I was asking so many questions to Dave. Mm-hmm. Like, some of the comments were, like, I'm asking questions trying to throw them off. Absolutely not. That's not what I was doing. I was asking questions because I want to believe that the earth is flat, and we've been lied to because they have lied to us about a lot of things, but sure. I can't make that jump because everything else I've seen proves the other way.
I was laughing at one of the comments was globetards.
Globetards.
It's like, that's great.
So good, man. So good.
That's freaking awesome.
And
yeah, I mean, listen, all those guys, all those people that are commenting, it's, you know, it's cool for the show, and but you know, they're all passionate about it, and I get that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Absolutely. Keep doing it. And Dave, the reason why I like what Dave doing, like you said, he has that presentation. He's got, you know, numbers and math and all that stuff. And it's cool. But here's another thing they were saying, Chad. They're like, no, you haven't seen a physicist rip up a flat earther. So it's like they just do what, that was the thing, is like they do shit the left does, is where it's like they try to tell you you haven't seen shit that you've seen with your own eyes, you know,
right.
like,
yes. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just funny that way. But, hey, gracious audience, we love you. Please share, like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz.
That's right.
Flat earthers, keep it coming. Bring some more on. Bring some more, you know, presentations. We're here to learn and be proven wrong.
Well, we should now have a physicist on. We got to find a physicist.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. We'll present both sides and let the audience decide. That's kind of what we do here. Like we do, you know, we present sides, and you'll even see if Chad says something, I'll try to put the other side of it just to make people think and check their own stuff out. Mm-hmm. Don't just take our word for it, because then that would be doing kind of what everybody else does, you know, like we do stuff to make you think and go do your own research. So do it and share. Gracious audience.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, baby. We shall see you next Tuesday.
Peace, everybody. Thank you.